Hey guys, Dave Trevino here again. Today I'm going to show you a 1969 Tula AKM. It's a customer of mine's build, and I figured I'd just give you a little walk around of it before I ship it off and kind of show you what we do here at Cold War Classes and just give you a real nice in-depth close-up view of exactly the type of AKMs that we build here. So without further ado, here we go. Like I said, it's a beautiful 1969 Tula AKM. A close-up of the rivet work. It's kind of what I'm known for. I have my customers tell me all the time, you know, about the quality of the rivet work. And that's a big thing to a lot of customers, and especially these guys that collect these high-end Soviet rifles, because this is not a cheap rifle by any means. Most of these rifles that I build for these guys are, you know, they're heavily scrutinized, you know, not so much shot so much, but just, you know, highly collectible. The kits are expensive. This kit's using a Polish barrel. It's on a Childers receiver, ALG trigger group. And the beautiful thing about these Childers receivers, they have that third Y stamp in there. Just adds to the authenticity of it. Makes it look, you know, like an authentic AKM. And if y'all can notice in this video, this paint has a distinct texture to it. And a lot of guys on multiple forums claim that they've came up with the recipe to replicate this Soviet finish, and they haven't. It's taken me about 3 years to come up with the correct hue and texture. It's actually there's some roughness to this, and there's multiple flakes, greens, blues, reds, to give it this hue. And that's part of what a lot of people have not added to their finish. And you have to have that for the most authentic look. And durability too. So again, just a beautiful example here. I'll tell you this. I'm the only guy in the US, I hate to sound like an a-hole, but that has replicated this Soviet finish. There's guys even ordering Coke bottles of Russian paint from Ukraine and so on and so forth to try to get it. And if you don't know how to spray the stuff, you don't know how it's diluted, you don't know the distance it needs to be sprayed at, you're not gonna get this texture. And there's a very distinct texture to this paint that gives it this look. So I'm very fair when it comes to my builds. My turnaround times are decent. I don't do a lot of builds anymore. Like I said, most of the stuff I do are these high-end builds for customers that want these ultra authentic looking Soviet rifles. And my number's on the website. If you need to get a hold of me regarding one of these builds, let me know. If you're the type of guy that's in a rush and you want it yesterday, just don't bother, please. I do all this stuff on my own time, and when I give you a rifle, I want it to be the best possible rifle I can. So I don't do rush jobs. Sorry. And again, the finish is what does it for most people. People that have seen this finish on rifles can compare it to their you know, their factory untouched pieces, and it's dead money, guys. It's right on the money. Again, Childers receiver. I've built several on these receivers, and so far I've yet to have a problem. You do have to trim the ejector on them. No big deal. Sometimes they're a little bit tight on the rear end, and just go in and clean it up and file it, because your your carrier will drag in it a little bit. And I go through and I clean all that stuff up before I ship them out. But this is what you're looking for on your Soviet examples. The wood is untouched, just the way he sent it to me. And there's no need to redo it. Again, the rivets. I'm very particular about my rivet work. If they're not perfect. Now, looking at these rivets on this side, guys, I form these rivets on this side. So a lot of times you'll see some good heads on one side, and the other sides will kind of be, you know, subpar. Well, these are the ones I formed. I take a lot of time, a lot of care in making sure that the rivets look absolutely factory professional. So that's what you get. All the pins that were reinstalled. Fit and finish is key with these rifles. I've read horror stories with guys getting their rifles back and the top covers popping off or gaps in them, and it's just not acceptable. Beautiful, beautiful marks on the buttstock. Little proof marks in there. Just absolutely beautiful work. Look at that wood. Let me show you the proof marks on this barrel cluster section over here. All right, guys, I think you've seen it all. It's ColdWarClassics.com. My number's on there. If you want a nice build, give me a shout. If you're in a rush, I'm not the guy for you. All right, guys, thank you.